Hello guys, my name is Chua Zishuan. I'm the group leader for Group Koala. The group presentation is about a species where the native habitat is in Malaysia and is categorized as critical endangered in the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The species chosen was the Malaysian giant turtle. We will discuss its taxonomy and classification, geographic range, habitat in Malaysia, ecology, conservation status according to the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species, threats to the species, and conservation actions that have been done or are ongoing in Malaysia and across its geographic range. Let's watch further for more detailed information.
The scientific name of the Malaysian giant turtle is BDY3103 1873. It is classified under the order Testudines and under the family of Dromaeidae. The Malaysian giant turtle is classified under the order Testudines because it has a few shells formed by two parts, which is the carapace and the plastron. The Malaysian turtle is classified under the family Dromaeidae because it is semi-aquatic. Besides, it does not have hinge on the plastron, in which the hinge functions to enable the plastron to be closed up against the carapace. Other than that, the Malaysian giant turtle has flat feet that is paddle-shaped and its digits are well defined, with some webbing between the toes.
So now I'm going to talk about the geographic range of Malaysian giant turtle, Olesia bonensis. There are records for Olesia bonensis that exist from the western peninsula of Malaysia, eastern Sumatra and western Kalimantan. There are also new records of Olesia bonensis that exist in Waikambas Babak National Park as well as from Langsa, Aceh, Masangat, East Western Kalimantan and Batu Kawat. They are still present in Peninsular Malaysia and some areas in Indonesia, which is Kalimantan and Sumatra. As you can see, this is the world map and the areas that are labelled orange in colour is the geographic range of Malaysian giant turtle, Olesia bonensis.
The Malaysian giant turtle is semi-aquatic. Their habitat include of swamps, which is a forest-dominated plant life and mineral soils with limited drainage area. They also inhabit in a large lakes that typically originate in depressions such as those left by glacier or volcanic activity. Those lakes can also arise when a river is dammed in part or when the course of a river is altered, isolating a channel. A slow river is a circulated stream of pore water that is moved by booster pumps or other means to provide a continuous current in which patrons are transported using flotation device or other means. Such river is also a habitat to the Malaysian giant turtle. The smooth oval carapace of the turtle is blackish or dark brown, and the plastron is pale yellowish brown to off-white. In adults, the carapace is flatter and smooth-edged, but in juveniles, it's more domed and serrated posteriorly. The web feet are large and paddle-like, and the claws is long and thick.
As the Malaysian giant turtle spends most of its time in water, their main food resource is fish. They will also take in fallen fruits or other available vertebrates. Therefore, their diet is captive omnivorous. The video below shows the feeding of Malaysian giant turtle with a banana. Yum yum, delicious! Their spawning season is around May to August, which occurs a few times a year. It will dig itself a nest in mud or sand to lay its eggs, approximately 10 hard-shell eggs per clutch. The sex of turtle is dependent on the ambient temperature of the eggs, is known as temperature-dependent sex determination, TSD. Research shows that if the eggs were incubated at low temperature, such as 27.7 degrees Celsius, the hatchling will be male. And if it's at a high temperature, as example 31 degrees Celsius, the hatchlings will be female. They will leave their eggs to hatch, and the young will have to fend themselves from potential predators. What is so unique about the river turtles is that they will remember their birthplace. They will return to the place they hatch and lay their eggs at the same site. This video shows the conservation action by Desa Damit residents of Kabupaten Pasir, Kalimantan Timur, Indonesia to prevent the tradition of daerah aliran sungai resident that exploits the eggs across generations once a year during spawning season.
According to the IUCN Red List, Olesia bonensis is said to be globally critically endangered. In 1999, the Malaysian giant turtle was considered vulnerable, while in 2018, the Malaysian giant turtle population was considered rare and commercially extinct, in which the population of the turtles decreased until fishermen cannot catch enough of them to gain profit. First, the Olesia bonensis is threatened by being traded in the East Asian food market. This species is extremely common in the food market of Chaotou, Guangzhou in China, and mainly adults are found in the marketplace. It is sold with the price of 100 RMB, around 65 ringgit for 1 kilogram in China. Next, the poaching of Olesia bonensis for international pet trade is also a threat to this species. In United States, Asia and Europe, the demand of turtle as pet has increased, causing the poaching of Olesia bonensis to also increase. Besides, there is also a possibility that the poachers being unable to differentiate between Olitia bonensis and other species that they were supposed to target for poaching.
Moreover, some of the poachers may purposely target the female turtles, causing the reproduction rate to decrease.
Another threat of Malaysian giant turtle is they are harvested in massive quantities for traditional medicinal use illegally. People believe that the meats of the Malaysian giant turtle can maintain the youthful beauty in women and improve sexual function in men. Besides meat, their eggs, blood and bile are all added into wine to provide particular cures, whereas the skin and the head are eaten alone. The shell can be either ground into powder or boiled in water, and the urine is used as drops in beer or consumed as a beverage. This is believed to cure cough, prolapse of the rectum, deafness and cancer. Same as many other species that are becoming endangered, the Olitia bonensis is also threatened by the loss of habitat. Malaysian giant turtles' habitat includes swamp, large lakes and slow-flowing river. However, their habitat has been converted into oil palm plantation by humans. Besides that, humans also destroy their habitat by pollution with domestic and urban wastewater, industrial effluents, agriculture and forestry effluents, and also garbage and solid waste.
For the conservation in Malaysia, the Fisheries Act 1985 is an act relating to fisheries, including conservation, management and development of maritime and estuary fishing and fisheries. In Malaysian, fisheries water to turtles and riverine fishing in Malaysia and to matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. Olitia has been proposed to occur in Taman Negara National Park based on species occurrence outside the park and the presence of suitable habitat within the park, but this has yet to be confirmed. There is no information on the occurrence of the species in Sarawak's protected areas. While protected areas protect Malaysia's natural flora and fauna, Aboriginal communities have subsistence exploitation rights that are occasionally abused in order to collect natural resources for commercial trade. The occurrence of Olitia inside a protected area cannot be equated with guaranteed undisturbed survival of the population. In Peninsular Malaysia, legislation covering Olitia is complicated by inadequate species definitions and unresolved differences in interpretation of the jurisdiction of federal and state legislation. Nevertheless, it is understood that net harvesting and trapping of Olitia is restricted in Perak, while state legislation in Johor, Kelantan, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan and Terengganu can be interpreted as affording some degree of protection to the species. The Wildlife Enactment 1997 of Sabah lists Olitia as a protected species, while it is listed as a totally protected species in the Wildlife Protection Ordinance 1998 of Sarawak. The second conservation is the Wildlife Conservation Enactment, an enactment of Sabah to make provision for the conservation and management of wildlife and its habitat for the benefit and enjoyment for the present and future generations of the Sabah people. Besides, the Wildlife Protection Ordinance 1998 is to provide protection, management and conservation of species of wildlife in Sarawak, especially against hunting, keeping them in captivity and cruelty. Activities such as hunting, killing, capture, sale, export, import of wild animals and plants may be allowed only under the terms and conditions of a license. While for the conservation across geographic range, Olitia is fully protected under the government regulation of the Republic of Indonesia No. 7, 1999, conservation should be maintained through an effort of species preservation. The Wildlife Rescue Central, Jogja Yayasan Konservasi Alam Yogyakarta, accompanied with Dewa Rasau, currently they hold a population of captive Malaysian giant turtle that was confiscated from the illegal pet trade. They will also develop a species care protocol and train more staff to build capacity for conservation breeding programs. On many occasions in Restorasi Ecosystem realm, the rangers and field staff free a Malaysian giant turtle that has been trapped in fish traps and also release them from a fisherman's hook.
Since it is an endemic species that can only be found in Malaysia and Indonesia, in addition with habitat loss, it is crucial for us to conserve it. That's all from us. Thank you.